Gentlemen, Coach Mike Judy coming to you with two of our staple drills we use in our program. The first one is it's a combination of the common air raid noose drill um, with some variations. We slow it down and coach the crap out of every rep, and then we combine that with open field tackling, kind of like a Thunderdome type of drill. So I'm going to take you through that. I'm going to show you some reps of it, good, bad, and ugly. This film is from a couple years ago, and this is the very first day that we were allowed to get the kids together. So we were in no pads, so this ends up being a non-contact drill. The drill can be thud or contact. It's up to you how you want to vary it, but this is a non-contact drill for us. So we have a barrel set on the sideline tick marks at the 20-yard line, and another barrel at the numbers 20-yard line. Quarterback standing about 15 yards deeper than that. And then we have a square or a rectangle, I don't know what it is, from that's 10 yards in depth, ends at the 10-yard line. So let's watch the first rep. This is actually going to be a bad rep. All right, let's run that back real quick. I'm going to coach you up. So we're getting a press release off of this barrel. We're going to work to come to a stop, planting that front foot, chest over knee. And then we're going to shuffle back into the dead zone just like every common noose drill. When we catch the ball, he is going to freeze. So let's get to that spot. So as he freezes, you see this coach in the white shirt come in. He is coaching up the catch mechanics, looking at nose on the ball, catching it with your nose, catching the front stripe of the ball, good base. The other coaching point here is that when he drifts back into his zone, we do not want him drifting vertically. So if you can look here, look closely, you're going to see that his heels and toes are on the correct side of the line. So this is a good rep for him. Then you're going to see the coach release him, and we're going to enter one of our kids, one of our defenders, into the box with leverage. All right. So here comes the defender. He's working outside in. We're trying to race to cut off space on this offensive ball carrier and maintain our leverage. So let's watch this. Okay, so this is a bad rep. So let's look at it again. This is what makes it a bad rep. Let's slow it down. So he does a pretty good job of shimmying his feet, but here's where he goes wrong. He stacks toes to toe, buckle to buckle with the kid. That gives the running back a two-way go. In an open field tackling situation, we do not want this. We want him to attack that kid's near hip with leverage, knowing where your help is. His help's inside in this rep. So this is a bad rep. Okay, this should be a better rep. I'll coach it up a little bit. Okay, ball was off his body, coach it up. All right. Now, this is a better rep on the tracking and closing the distance. I'm going to pause it where it goes bad. Right here. This body posture. We call this sitting in the chair. Okay, sitting in the chair. We do not want to be sitting in the chair. You're going to get run over, and all your momentum is now stopped and shifted backwards. Foot's flat. We're not taking little tiny steps. We now have to reaccelerate, which is probably going to take a big step. Okay, so this is number one. This is problem number one. We don't want this. Okay, he's about 2 yards outside the kid's bubble, so this is okay from a breakdown. But now, as he finishes, this is whiz tempo for us, so non-contact. This finish is no good for me. See the push, palms to the man? That's no good. What we want is a double uppercut coming off his hip. The second part is we should be tracking this near hip. Now, what we want is we want his right elbow and forearm, right outside portion of his arm, to be scraping paint in a double uppercut off of that kid's hip. If we were in pads, we would want that near hip getting contacted by his front shoulder pad. We want to thud it up. Again, this is non-contact drill, so it's a decent rep. This is first rep of the year. Now, this one is actually decent leverage, but he sits in the chair. So I like how he maintained his leverage, tracking the inside hip. If the kid crosses his face, you attack double uppercuts forward, okay, and you make the tackle. What I don't like about the rep is that he sat in the chair. That is no good. So obviously, through the first 3 reps of the season, I can already tell what we're going to have to work on. All right. But decent rep, he pokes the ball out again. I don't like the finish with his hands. We often get started with practice with this. Now, this is a freshman rep versus a stud rep. As you can tell, the freshman is out of control. He's tall, bad body posture, and he's taking massive steps to try to gain ground. This kid runs a 4.4, this kid runs a 5.4. You know what I mean? So this is kind of what it looks like when there's matchups in the open field. All right. So one thing I can give the kid credit for is that he actually tried to break down, but he just did it too late. All right. One more rep here. This kid does a great job with everything except for he sits in the chair. So again, it's a common theme this day. So this is something we're going to have to work on: his body posture. Tracking the near hip, but look at his posture. Like he's got an ironing board in his back pocket. Not good. Okay. Now, from the quarterback side, as the drill progresses, we start to work on pocket presence and escape. So I'm just going to let these run. Okay. We're coaching pocket presence, escape, footwork, getting the hips flipped around to make the throw. There you go. Okay. Now, this last drill, second drill, this is another staple for us. This is defensive only. This is second and third level defenders, so linebackers and defensive backs. This is just a rabbit leverage drill. 5 yards apart. Here's the tackler. Okay. His heels or toes are at 5 yards from the rabbit. The rabbit is going to take a one step in front of him. We're going to be inside out leverage. His job is to track the near hip inside out. He's going to get into good leverage. So we talk about a tube. Okay, if there's a tube of this guy's body, we want to make sure our front side hip is in that tube before we get square and come downhill. So not every rep here is great. Here's what's bad about that rep. He's tracking the hip. You can see his eyes here, tracking the hip. What I don't like is his vector. All right, that vector, that's not what we're trying to do. This is a close space tackle. We're taking a 5 yard apart tackle and making it a close space tackle. We should be squared up. All right. So he turned, and he's creating a force vector problem. All right. That kid's a little more square. Not bad. Now, this is a great rep. Okay, let's watch kid with the red thing on his head. All right. He's maintaining his posture. He's tracking the hip. His front side hip is connected to this kid's backside hip. Now, watch how he stays square shoulders. Okay. Now he has the chance to drive this kid towards the camera. The other thing I love about this rep is watch how he goes low to high. Low to high. He finishes with an explosion upward. Now, this is non-contact, no pads right now. That's another good rep right there. That's a non-contact, no pad drill, but when we put pads on, we're going to be taking this shoulder and we're going to be popping that hip pad and throwing double uppercuts. All right. Now, these are the tacklers, rabbits. Okay. We go through the drill. All right. Now they switch jobs coming back. All right. So one group's gone to the right, one group's gone, both groups have gone to their left. Now, when we get back, the same guy who just tackled, these guys are doing the same job again. Here's your rabbits. Now he's going to the right. That's a good rep. decent rep, much better. Notice how they've gotten better just in 2 reps. Young guy being coached up by an old guy. Now on the final rep, the other guy's working to his right. So this is just a basic low intensity warm-up drill, if you would, of tracking. All right. Okay, thanks for joining us. I'll put some other variations in the future. I'll also put some stuff about the way we practice. All right. As always, like and subscribe. Take care.